booties for black girl nerds.
How are you guys doing today?
Hi,
Hello.
good.
Hi. Well, thank you guys so much for taking some time to speak with me today. I very much appreciate it. I know it's been a long day, so I appreciate it so much, guys.
Happy
So
to be here.
I'll jump right into it. Sunny is great. I'd even venture to say it's actually Apple TV Plus's best series. It's been a while since we've got,
Okay,
right?
great.
It's
You
good.
heard it here first.
I've seen all 10 episodes and I cannot talk to my friends about it, and that sucks because I want to.
Soon.
Yeah, I'm like,
You
all I can say is it's good. That's all I
also
can say.
that's a flex. You know what I mean? You get to hold that for yourself for a minute.
For sure. Absolutely. I will start with you, Miss Rashida. Wow, wow, wow. You gave such a great performance. So much kudos to you. Do you prefer exploring dark, dramatic characters like Susie over comedic ones? Like, how is your preparation different?
I don't know if I prefer it. It's different for me. I haven't had as many opportunities to do that. It's harder to live in that character, I think, because you have to let go of it or try to let go of it at the end of the day and the end of the part. Um, because for me, I can't unless I can make something feel real to me. It will never feel real as an expression on screen. So it's hard to visit those dark corners and those places that make it real for me. Um, but I think also I must have had something I wanted to process at this particular time in my life. I love doing comedy because you get to make each other laugh and it's light and it's a hard job acting in terms of just the hours and the amount of waiting, and you do the same thing over and over again, and it's being able to make each other laugh is a huge part of staying kind of alert and engaged. But this was a different thing, because my job was to sort of bring the audience through the mystery and sustain tension, and also always be reminded of this looming, unimaginable loss, which is that I've lost my husband and child potentially in a plane crash. So it was challenging for me, for sure. I'm not gonna lie.
Awesome. Hidetoshi, there is so much mystery with your character Masa that it kept me wondering through each episode, like how it was all going to come together. How much of the story was shared with you when you signed up to join the series?
全く知りませんでした。
I didn't know at all
本当にスージーの記憶の中にある本当
because I
に
thought I was playing this gentle, tender, wonderful father, husband that resides within Susie's memories. And so, yeah, they deceived me.
Awesome. Well, it didn't show. Go ahead.
Katie and I think Katie probably saw the evil side within me, and she probably put that in the character.
Well, Rashida, my best friend's husband, Tim, absolutely loves your work, especially a little film called Celeste and Jesse Forever, on which you were an executive producer and you starred in it. Now, I'm interested to know, what are the similarities between being an EP and starring in a film set in the US versus an EP and starring in a series that is filmed in a whole nother country?
Thank you, Tim, wherever you are. Celeste and Jesse was a very specific thing for me because I wrote it with my best friend, and it was, the first thing that we ever wrote, and it was like my heart. I put my heart and soul into that. And so producing was kind of like a necessity to get the movie made because we wanted to get it made, and you just learn how to become a producer. And this was a little different because I think I wanted to have input in something that I would be starring in, and everybody, Katie, Robbins, and Lucy Tcherniak, and Apple, everybody was extremely supportive and collaborative, allowing me to kind of, dive in, especially once the show was done shooting, because it's very hard for me to have anything to say about anything when I'm shooting, because I just have to be, I'm not good enough to wear two hats at the exact same time. It has to be like, in succession. So when we were done shooting, being able to see what we had, and make it the sort of best version and the version we always wanted it to be, when it's actually done and sitting on the streamer and released into the world. So yeah, slightly different purpose and focus, but I think like having a say. It's a really nice thing as an actor to be able to have a say in how something comes out in the world, not necessarily about my performance or the way I come across, but just in totality, making sure that like tonally we're exactly where we need to be, and it's the best version of the thing that we made.
Sounds very similar to an artist that has input in their music and how it's distributed. So thank you for that response. I'm asking everyone in this junket about this particular question. AI is advancing daily, and while it can be scary, it can be helpful in some ways. In you guys' opinion, this is for both you guys, how far away do you guys think we are from actually having something like Sunny that's going to be sold to consumers eventually? Because I have seen some of those things floating around sushi restaurants delivering food. So how far away do you guys think it is for us to actually have something like that?
Oh yeah, well, we have those like Amazon drones, those little guys that cross the street, which I am like terrified. I'm not gonna lie. I see those and I'm like, I saw somebody almost hit one the other day with their car, and I started asking myself, where would the liability be? Because it's not a real person. Like, what happens if you hit a drone? Like, do you get sued by Amazon? Does your insurance go up? Anyway, sorry, I digress. I think we're close. I think we're close. Like, we're delivering packages. I think we're close. I think AI has a PR problem right now because everybody feels threatened by it. And I think, putting that into a kind of physical embodiment and selling it as a consumer product, they're going to be contend with a lot of pushback. Funnily, ironically, because everybody already has these voice activated assistants in their home, like we're already there. It's just a matter of like, are you going to put it in like a little robot that's cute and rolls around and maybe does dishes? That's tempting for me.
Awesome. Hidetoshi, last question. This one's for you. I'm half Japanese myself, so it was really nice to see the country because I've never been before. I do want to go. I want to go next year, but it was really nice to see the country, and I believe that they're way more advanced than we are here in the U.S. So I have to ask this: what do you think is the downside of having something like Sunny around, and what do you think are the benefits to something like that?
そうですね。まあ本当にその AI みたいなそのロボットが
So
心を癒してくれる存
if
在になったとした
if
ら、まあ
AI or a robot really becomes a thing where it can heal people's minds and body, of course, technology has both good and bad. There are people who use it in a bad way, who will exploit it. But then, the thing itself, entity
そうです
itself
ね。
will have both pros and cons, good and bad. And that is the scary thing because for other tools, humans are able to probably control them. But regarding artificial intelligence, it's I believe that there would be something that would be out of hands from a human control perspective. So it's very convenient. It's a wonderful thing, and it's not a simple thing where you say it's wonderful. We should just keep it advancing.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for your time again. This has been the coolest experience. Having an interview this late at night is so cool. So thank you guys so much for this. I
Go
very
get
much
some
appreciate it.
sleep.
Oh, for sure, for
Thank
sure.
you.
Thanks, guys. You guys have a great project
Thanks
and
so
have a great
much.
day.
Good night.
Nice.
How are you guys doing today?
Hi. Hi, Shira-san.
Hi, nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy schedule. to
はじめまして。
speak to me. I very much appreciate it. So Sunny is such
いい
a
え。
unique story and very suspenseful, and I
うん。
personally enjoyed it a lot. Probably one of the best Apple TV Plus
あ、よかったで
shows.
す。
What was your reaction when you first started to read the script and see all the twists and turns?
わあ、嬉しいです。
Judy, I'll start with you.
いや、もう、まずこ
The
の
first of
今
all, in this world, society, we do
生きたよう
we
な
do have AI.
出てくる登場からもう面白い
Having this humanoid, it's also all very, very interesting. And also the theme, like Noriko's Sakamoto's character, is
主人公のスージーの旦那さんのマサのお母さんなんですけれど
this Masa's mother, Susie's husband. Masa died over the plane crash, and she has a pain and lonely. And also Susie lost her husband, so she's in a loss. And when human being is in loss, you feel uneasiness
人間の
and lonely. So the human emotion is very well depicted, and presence of robots makes it clearer, the human emotions. So I'm doing this Kyoto lady, Noriko. I was interested in her. She's wearing kimono all the time and speaks English and speaks Japanese. She speaks Kyoto dialect. It's different, very different from the Japanese standard Japanese. It's very melodic. So it's like singing. So my dialect coach is always with me. So she's checking every single words I say. It was fun.
And
It was good that I did that. I enjoyed it.
And June, what was your experience like?
When I first read the script, I loved the world. It's set in near future. It's set in Kyoto, the old city, has a 1200 years of history, and also the main character, as a human being, she's having issue in communicating with the others. It's a bit awkward person in leading the life in a society. It's difficult for her. But as the story unfolds, she becomes a good buddy with the robots. And through that buddy, she connects with the others and she grows. You can read that script in that way. So it was an interesting package altogether. And also, it's about human growth and it's about friendship. So it has many different aspects. Also the family issues. Those are issues, they are very important for the people to live in their lives. It's science fiction story, but somehow it feels nostalgic, which I thought was interesting. As a whole, how they made this world is so unique, never seen before. It's very new. It's one and only world, a drama. When I read the script, I felt that. It's also very entertaining. It's very entertaining. However, there is a very important points like love,
そして孤独という
friendship,
辛いもの。
loneliness. That's very hard to deal with. I think these are very well depicted. So I think it's a very good work of art.
Awesome. Well, I am half Japanese myself, so I really love seeing the city and seeing places that I had never seen before. I am asking everyone this question. I believe that AI is really advancing, and I've always thought that the Japanese are well advanced, way more advanced than the US is right now. It is a little scary, but it's also interesting. So in your opinion, how far away do you think that we are as a society of there actually being a product like Sunny available for people to purchase one day?
Yeah, I think it's very possible because in this past 50 years, we are now living in this world with AI. Like my fridge speaks, like we don't have enough water, please bring more water. And my bathtub says like the bath is now ready. They talk to me. These are AI. So in that sense, like a home bot, I think it's soon they come to our lives. I think it's very, very possible near future. In that sense, I think it's very near future. I think we have home bot in a family and household. I think that will happen very soon. I want one myself.
Well, speaking of you guys wanting one, I was going to ask, what is something that you think is good to have Sunny for, a robot like Sunny? And what do you think are some downsides of having a robot that's smart?
The good thing is that you can ask them to do the house chores instead of you. Like Sunny, if anything happens, you can talk to him or her. They can be your friends. The bad thing, I can't think of it. maybe when it's out of order, maybe we're going to be in trouble. If started to speak something weird or it's something, sometimes it's pause, stops, maybe we'll be at a loss what to do. Maybe that's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, it's after all, it's a computer. The machines can be broken. For me, if I have one, I draw too. I am an artist too. I don't have much time to draw. Like I had to do like, sorting out, house chores. So I want to have more own time for the art. If I have Sunny, then they can do the house chore. I can spare more time for my art, but it's going to be a trouble if it's broken. So we have to, if we totally rely on it, we're going to be in huge trouble if it's out of, if it's broken. So you have to maintain it well.
That's true. Thank you guys so much. This is a really great show. It's been so lovely speaking with you. And I can't wait to see what the audiences think of it. So thank you guys so much.
Doing well. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you guys for taking some time to speak with me today. I know it's a little bit late on my end, but you guys seem like you have a lot of light, a lot of life going. So this is
I'm sorry we kept you up so late.
No, it's actually a really cool experience. Like I think all of us journalists are kind of talking about how this is a cool thing to do, like late. Like this is awesome. So thank you so much for talking with me today. I'll jump right to it. Katie, I'll start with you. For the past decade, there has been a surge in interest in anime and Japanese culture. So Sunny couldn't have come at a more perfect time. Is there any chance that you may have been holding on to this project for the right moment or even the right studio to pick it up?
Oh, that's such an interesting question. No, I hadn't been holding on to it. It took a long time to get made and then produced because we got hit with first COVID and then the writer's strike and the SAG strike. So it's been a long time kind of percolating. And so it's kind of maybe like it was sort of, this was when it was meant to come out at this like perfect point where everybody was like hungry for this content. But no, I feel like I've been working on it since I was like 12 years old, but not holding it back.
Yeah, not intentionally.
Not intentionally.
It
Since
just took a long time to make.
Withholding it from everybody.
Yeah.
Lucy, this series is so unique in that it's suspenseful and it's dramatic and it has comedic undertones. Plus, it takes place in Japan, which makes it even more different than what we currently see today. What would you say the experience was like filming in a whole nother country?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad, I was going to say, like, I'm glad this wasn't my first show. Because I think like it took some doing. It was complicated, but such a ride. And I felt like I was at a point in my career where I needed a new challenge and got one. We were working with an animatronic robot in the midsummer of like humid Tokyo and Kyoto, and 2 languages, with a very ambitious story wherever we'd shot it. So it definitely was like a real it was a real journey getting there. But I feel like it was essential to us that we shot in Japan, I think for authenticity reasons, for us just kind of like really being like human sponges, soaking up the culture and imbuing the series with that sense of specificity, with working with all of our like Japanese partners, our crew, who were like keeping us honest and keeping it authentic with us every single day. It was a truly wild ride, but like one I'm so grateful to have been on.
I love that you touched on the authenticity, because you don't know how many times you'll watch something that says that it's filmed in Mexico and it's like, oh, this is really nice, and then it's like, this was Florida Keys. Not where you guys think it was. I appreciate that. I'm half Japanese myself, so it was cool to see a country that I had never been to, but it's still my culture, so it was really cool to see that. Can you both talk to me without spoilers? Can you guys talk to me a little bit about the episode number 9 that focuses on Sunny? While, like I said, I do have to avoid the spoilers, I would like to discuss the concept and how that set design came and how the ideas came about for that particular one.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to talk about without spoilers. I'm trying to think about a good way to do it. I wanted to make sure that there was an episode in which we really got to have Sunny's POV, and wanted to do it in a way that was kind of unexpected. And we, in terms of the kind of production design for episode 9, we had an extraordinary production designer, Shinsuke Kojima, who designed the entirety of the show. And honestly, if he doesn't win every production design award, like when the show comes out, like I will just like eat my hat, because he's just so bloody talented. But with that episode, the director of that episode is Makoto Nagahisha, who is just like a brilliant, like visionary, delightful bundle of like joy and energy and
he's so playful, which that
playfulness,
episode needed.
which that episode has. And so like all of our show, the design of it was inspired by sort of like 60s and 70s like Japanese design, and so we pulled from elements of that with the color palette that Lucy had established at the beginning, and sort of created something that was like really fun and unexpected, and took the show into an entirely different orbit while still retaining the aesthetics and character of the rest of the series. Was that enough of a
I think
lack
you
of
nailed it.
spoiling?
Well done. I think you talked around that in a great way.
But I'm so
Perfect way.
excited that you're excited about it. I love that
Yeah.
episode so much.
It's so great.
No, it is my favorite one.
Aw.
On that topic, though, AI is advancing, right? It's changing daily, and it's scary, but it's also really interesting to see it. In your opinion, how far away do you guys think we are from actually having a product like that where consumers can purchase it? I personally have already seen it in some sushi restaurants. I've seen
Right.
a little robot delivering
Yeah.
food. So how far away do you guys think that we are from something like Sunny?
Not
far at all.
I mean, when I was writing the pilot, I worked with a robotics consultant, and at the time she was like, okay, so this is where I think we're going, like this is on the horizon. And I was like, no way, like what are you talking about? And then while we were filming, ChatGPT came out, and
Yes.
all of the things that she'd been talking about were happening right in this moment. So I think that like every day it's advancing and perfecting itself, and so I do think that like we are on the cusp of this AI revolution, and sort of one of the things that the show is grappling with is like Sunny, like AI has the potential to be like really warm and inviting and like productive, and like Sunny, AI has the potential to be like a little nefarious and a little like, am I gonna trust you or are you gonna cut me? And so like we have to decide as a species, like which way are we gonna go with this, and like this is the moment that we have to make that decision.
No, you're absolutely right. Chat GPT is actually pretty interesting because I see a lot of people, some people gotten expelled from school. Like it can lead to a lot of good and a lot of bad. So I love that the series touches on the good of having a companion like Sunny, and then the downside of having a companion like Sunny.
the risks that are
And
involved.
everything. So
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate your time. I actually want to venture and put this on record that I think this is probably one of Apple TV Plus's best series. So this is absolutely great. I can't wait to share it with my friends. I have seen all 10 episodes. They have not, so I'm geeked about it. So thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
That means a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Bye guys, have a great day.
Hi. We're doing great.
Doing
Thank
well.
you. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy schedule to speak with me today. I very much appreciate it. So I'll get right to it. This question is for both of you guys. I love how different this show is from what's currently on platforms today. What was your initial reactions when reading the script, especially with how each of your characters evolved? Annie, I'll start with you.
Well, the script was like very well written, and it has like robots in it, sci-fi dark comedy thingy style. It's just, I've never read anything like that before, like as you mentioned. So it's just like, as soon as I read it, I was just like, sign me up for this, like please. And Rashida Jones in it, and like Nishijima-san's in it. In terms of like Mixxy, she's like very fearless character, she's got just like a fearlessness character, and feisty, and she's not scared of express herself, and she's definitely not one of those like stereotypical Japanese girl. And I was just like, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, it's just, I'm so fortunate to have this experience, but it was wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah,
What was your thought?
I'm sorry? Yeah.
No, yeah, I was asking, what was your thoughts as well?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, first I auditioned for it and I got to only read the description of Sunny, and I was like an optimistic 3-foot tall robot girl that sometimes messes up, and I was like, I can do this. I've practiced my whole life to be this. And then so through the audition process, I get some of the scripts and I could read more of the Sunny's journey and her character development, and then I fell more and more in love with her and the storyline, and of course Rashida Jones and the Mixxy character, and I was like, I have to play this character. I know how to do it, please. And even if I just let her live in this audition, just like let me play. And then to have booked it and then to actually be able to shoot all 10 episodes and see where her character goes has just been so surreal. And I'm so happy that you've enjoyed the series.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I want to piggyback off of what you just said. With Sunny requiring voice acting, how present were you on set to see everything come together?
Oh, I love this question because it was not just voice acting by any means. It was, I was on set for all 6 months, filming in Tokyo with everybody. I would go on to the scene, we'd rehearse the scene as Joanna, doing the Sunny stuff, and they would put a little tape on my belly for where Sunny's eye lines would be. So afterwards, I was like, I've been staring at my belly button. Yeah. And then I would go off and get rigged up into the Sunny helmet, and I would have the camera and the ring light, and when I would move, Sunny would move, and when I would emote and speak, she would do that, and they would wheel the 3-foot tall robot on, and we would do the take as that. And so it was very much me being present every day that the robot Sunny was on set. To my knowledge, it was a style of acting that I don't know has been done before.
No, that's actually really cool. I think that's actually makes it more unique. So thank you for that, because I could picture it differently. I'll probably go back and watch it again because it's just such a great show.
Sure.
Annie, this marks your first big role, and you're working with Apple TV Plus. You're working with Apple TV Plus and A24. That's awesome.
And
like,
Rashida
what
Jones.
Joanna.
Oh God, it's wonderful.
What has that experience been like with you being from Japan, right? And also being cast in a series that's filmed there as well.
It's just, it's all like so surreal. It's like part of me still can't believe that I'm like actually here with you and talking to you and then with you and then the Rashida Jones and everyone. It was definitely sweet, but it was like once in a lifetime experience, and I'm so fortunate to have like had this experience, and I'm so glad that they wrote Mixxy the way I'm thinking Mixxy, because like when I read her role, it was like, she's me, I have to do it, and I know how to do this because she's like me. Yeah, it's been wonderful.
Well, this question is for both of you ladies. AI is advancing daily, and while it's quite interesting and a bit scary, in your opinion, how far away do you think that we are as society from having a product like Sunny being developed and sold to consumers? Because I've actually already seen something similar in like sushi restaurants delivering those cute little robots. So how far away do you think we are from actually having something like that we can own?
You know, I wish I was more well-read on technology to have a better answer, but I would think from my gut, not that far off. I mean, like you said, we have little robots in restaurants delivering us tea, or like in Los Angeles, those little bots with the big light eyeballs that are like driving and they get caught in the intersections and like blinking for help, and they're so cute. And I'm sure it's years away, but I would guess that we're not
that
so far off. Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I'm actually half Japanese myself, so
yay!
Yeah, I love seeing parts of the country that I had never seen before because I've never been, and I really want to go. So it made me more excited. I actually think the Japanese are very advanced, way more advanced than we are here in the U.S.
Yeah.
So what do you think is a downside of having, if you owned a Sunny, what do you think is a good thing that they could bring to your life, and what would you think would be a bad thing?
Oh, that's a great question. I think I think our show kind of touches on this. I think a good thing would be you'd have a companion, you'd have
someone to talk to,
like a built-in best friend. But I mean, the other thing too, especially like with how we are with YouTube and TikTok and social media, that also might be kind of isolating potentially too. So yeah, but then again, someone does your laundry and somebody cooks for you too. So it comes with all of the stuff that's both good and bad about AI. But that's our Sunny.
No, I think that's true. I actually love the idea of just being able to like shut it down. There's times where you want that companionship, and then there's times where you're like, oh, you know what? Not right now. I don't feel like dealing with people. So that was something I love that the series touched on. So that was great. Well, I very much appreciate your time. Again, I love this series. I have to wait a while before my friends can see it. I've actually got to see all 10 episodes, so I loved it. But it's a really great show. So thank you guys so much for your time, and I can't wait to see what you guys do next in your careers.
Thank you
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's nice meeting you.
Bye.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.